We're going to be talking about Aristotle's model of communication. But before we start, who is Aristotle? Aristotle is a Greek philosopher who was born in 338 BCE at Stagira, Greece, and died in 332 BCE. He made significant and lasting contributions to nearly every aspect of human knowledge, from logic to biology to ethics and aesthetics. He was a student of Plato for 20 years, and in 338 he tutored Alexander the Great. Aristotle was one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived and the first genuine scientist in history. He made pioneering contributions to all fields of philosophy and science. Aristotle combines logic with observation to make general causal claims.
So, what is Aristotle's model of communication? Aristotle's model of communication is mainly a speaker-centered model where the speaker and speech are very important. You can say this model emphasizes more on public speaking than on interpersonal communication. This makes the communication process one way from speaker to receiver. Even if the model is speaker-oriented and focuses on audience interaction and communication, there is no concept of feedback. In summary, Aristotle's model of communication is just a one-way process. It is directly from the speaker to the receiver. There is no concept of feedback, and it's just a way for a speaker to communicate with an audience.
The Aristotle model of communication is formed with 5 elements: speaker, speech, occasion, audience, and effect. The speaker's role to deliver speech is considered as the first element of the 5 primary elements. In this model, the speaker gives the speech, whereas the target audience is passively influenced. The speaker must prepare their speech beforehand based on the target audience and situation. He believed that the study of communication and persuasion is rhetoric, and different speech should be made for different audience at different situations to get desired effects or to establish a propaganda. There are 3 critical elements present that make someone a good communicator, and those are ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos represents credibility or an ethical appeal which persuades the character involved. Pathos deals with the emotions. This deals appealing the audience's sense of empathy. Logos is a rhetorical or persuasive appeal to the audience's logic and rationality.
So now, let's talk about the criticisms to Aristotle's model of communication. For number 1, there is no concept of feedback. It is one way from the speaker to the audience. Since his model of communication is mostly used in public speaking, there is no feedback or response from another person. It is just a one-way process from the speaker to the audience, and it is very direct and objective. Secondly, this model can only be used in public speaking. Aristotle's model of communication can only be used for public speaking, so there can be a communication gap if the speaker does not correctly get their point across. There can be misunderstandings which do not lead to good endings. And lastly, there is no concept of communication failure like noise and barriers. The person talking, or also known as the speaker, will not know if there are any barriers because they are not able to get a response from the audience other than facial gestures. If the audience does not get it, the speaker will not be able to know since it is a one-way process. And it is mostly and only the speaker talking to the audience, which can cause a lot of communication gaps.
Good evening, everyone. Before anything else, I would like to say that it is my honor to deliver this speech to all of you and as well expresses my gratitude to the special people who gave me this chance to stand here in front of everyone in this wonderful night to hopefully share an inspiration and be one of the first ones to greet all the graduates, including myself, a huge congratulations to us. First, I'd like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all our teachers, our professors, our educators, who have become very patient to teach all of us and impart every bit of knowledge they've pounded themselves since the day they decided to teach and hone future professionals. We owe all the knowledge and learnings that we now acquire to you, our dear teachers. To my fellow batchmates, I want you to know that I am grateful for each one of you for having been part of my life in the past 6 years, directly or indirectly. Either you're a close friend of mine whom I share all my challenges at school, a classmate whom I do class projects with, or an acquaintance whom I just say hi and hello. Whether we obviously interacted or vaguely, I am sure, one way or the other, we played a role in each other's high school life. Wherever our knowledge, our dreams, our fate brings us to, always remember to be kind. Because kindness that you put into the world has always a way of coming back to you. It is in giving that we receive. And so, no matter how smart you are, without kindness, you have never truly lived your life. And lastly, to my family, my parents and my siblings. Thank you so much for all the love and support. This may be the most used message, but it is true. I wouldn't be here without you. You are my strength and inspiration. And for that, I promise that I will always be thankful that you are my family. Before I end this speech, I want to share with all of you, my dear fellow graduates, what my parents have told me once. 15, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed of the things you didn't do. So, throw off the bowline, sail away from the safe harbor, and catch the trade winds in your sail. Explore, dream, discover. Congratulations to all of you and the best of luck in our next endeavor.